Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. This is the Simply Simly channel and my name is Dee. And on this channel we usually play simulation games, mostly The Sims 4, but recently we've been playing mostly Paralives because it's just so much fun I can't put it down. There was a couple of topics I wanted to cover today. So the first part is I want to address some of the questions that came out of my recent rotational gameplay. I thought they were really good questions and could help if you're trying to incorporate rotational gameplay into your experience. So I was going to spend some time talking about that. And then I was also going to go through and start decorating this house. So we haven't seen these characters before. This is the first time we're seeing them. This is Maddie, and Maddie is friends with the Chimera family, with specifically the youngest Chimera member, Dana. And so I wanted to decorate his house. This is a multi-generational house, which is really beautiful. I grew up in a multi-generational home. I'm really excited. They live right next door to the Chimeras, so eventually we will play with like their gameplay. But today I was hoping that we could do some decorating. There's going to be some speed building, but I'll also try to like talk through my process too, if that's helpful for anybody. So we have a lot to cover. I'm going to try to make this not 40 minutes, but we'll see. I have a tendency to go over the time that I think I should. First, I wanted to address some of your questions. So one, I wanted to say thank you so much to anybody that has added any comments. I've absolutely loved to hear how you're incorporating rotational gameplay into your game. If it's helping you slow down, your comments are always really beautiful, and I just love to hear that this experience is helping you. That's really great for me to hear. So keep them coming. I want to know like what you've done to your game, how you've incorporated things, what your like gameplay is, and also some folks have shared some like lore that they have too for their gameplay, which I absolutely love to hear. Anytime that we're building out a story together is a great joy for me. And again, just thank you so much for commenting. So the first comment I wanted to address, which was great. There were so many questions, and thank you again for asking them. One, thank you for your kind words. I'm really glad that you're finding it inspiring. That warms my heart. That's the hope I think any of us have in the world, is to do something that's inspiring. So thank you. That warmed my heart. And then also, thank you for your advice about how to have paras have babies. I was struggling so hard at this before, so I just wanted to say thank you so much for giving me that advice. I needed that. And I wanted to start by answering your questions about, you had some questions about like, how do I adjust the ages for rotational gameplay if needed? And also, how do I switch households with paras that are kind of like townies that are just wandering around? So I was going to show you how I do that and show you like the cheat code console too, so you can see how you can incorporate that into your game. So right now we're playing as Maddie, but to do this, we're going to actually leave the screen for a second. I'm going to go over here to these 3 ellipses. I wanted to show you how you can change around your settings even after you've picked like a storyteller. And this also answers your question about how do I change around the ages of the paras? So there's a couple of ways I can do that. So first thing I can do is I can go over to storyteller. So throughout the game, you can pick which storyteller you'd like to kind of be the narrator, so to speak, to your game. And you can also customize this as well, which is something I have personally done. I liked that this did provide an extra challenge or extra challenge cards, but I know for me, I already adjusted that I would like my parrot to be able to eat at work, and I would also like them to use the toilet at work. From here, what you can also do too is you can change how folks age. So you can change how your individual paras age, but you can also change the life stages as well as the aging for households that you're not playing as right now. So the way that I have this set up is that the household paras that I'm playing as right now will age, but non-household paras will not age. So what that means is that if I switch over to a different house during rotational gameplay, that means that the house I'm switching over to, now they will age, but the previous house I was at, their household will not age at all, which can be very helpful for like slowing down age progression or like trying to figure out how much time you want to spend at each location. The other thing I did too is I went in and I changed the duration of the lifespan. So similar to The Sims, you can do short, normal, or long lifespans. For me, I've always been a long lifespan player. It's how I grow really attached to all of my characters, is through long play. For my paras, something that I don't necessarily do is I don't I don't keep track of how many weeks I've spent with particular households, right? And because I don't keep track of how many days I've spent at particular households, that might mean that other folks are aging faster than other ones that I would like to them to kind of age together. So what you can do if that's the case, or if your para aged up faster than you wanted them to, which happened to me with like Bianca, Monica, and Rebecca. One of them aged up faster than I wanted them to. And I was like, oh no. And so I aged them back so that I could make sure to keep them at the age that I was hoping that I'd play as. So the way that we can do that is through the cheat console. So if I do Shift-Control-C on my keyboard, it will bring up the cheat commands. Something that's really lovely about the cheat commands is that they already have a almost like a search system in the cheat codes, which I appreciate. There's a way to look for several cheat codes and what they mean, which is nice. It doesn't exist everywhere. What you can type in here is like life stage or age. I typed in age to get the life stage that I wanted to. And based on the character that you're playing as, you have to be on that character card. So right now, I'm on Elena's card. So if I'm on her card and I go previous life stage, it will change her to a toddler. If I do next life stage, it would then change her to a teen. And she would be at the start of that age category. So this is a way that you can manipulate how you change the ages if you wanted to, if that's something that's helpful. You can also set ages too, which helps for, I believe that helps right here. Like if you wanted to set it at a particular age, you can do that as well. The next item I wanted to show you, because this was a question too of like, this family was previously not living in this location. So it was trying to figure out how do I get to play them and then move them into this location and make sure that they also have enough funds so that they can live in this house. And so what I did for that, very similar to before, if you do Shift-Control-C, it'll pop up the cheat commands, but there's a little like arrow down here on the left side. If you click that, it'll bring you to this thing called Parafolk Profiler. And this just lets you see all of the parafolks in the game right now and what exactly they're doing and for how long they're doing that particular thing. So for example, I was going to use Roberto because we all know Roberto. He was on the train with us. So since we all know Roberto, we might as well play as him. And here right now, you'll notice that it says basics, go to fake home. So this is what happens when parafolks that are townies that you have not played before need to take care of their needs. They will go to their fake home, which is essentially that they'll go to a home that they don't have. So they will just kind of disappear off the map and go to like a temporary place so that they can fill their needs. This is a way to navigate and find where are these parafolks right now. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to find Roberto again. You can also type in a parafolk here at the top as well. And that's how I found Maddie, because I didn't know his last name. So I just typed in Mathis, I think his name. So I typed that in and was able to find him. Okay. So since Roberto is at his home, what you can do is you can click find to find that parafolk. So again, it's going to take me to nothing in particular because he's not actually at a home. So you could click select and you could click find to bring them to their location, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to click these other three dots down here at the bottom, these ellipses, and it's going to give me the option of switching to the household, showing all the household members. I don't know what activate logs for the character means. Delete the character is pretty obvious. You'll delete the character from the game. For me, I'm going to switch household. So I can click switch households. And now I'm Roberto. And I just need to go over here. And so this is where his fake household is. And this is where he is right now. So really easy to switch to a character that you haven't played before with the Parafolk Profiler feature. So now that I'm playing as him, I can see how much money he has. And from here, now you can choose to buy a house or to like settle your parafolk into a space. You can also play without a house. In Paralives, you don't have to have a home. You don't have to do that. So you could just be outside of the home too. That's an option. Absolutely. So for him, if I wanted to like increase his funds, let's say that he wants to move into like Not that place, because that place is already occupied. But let's say he wants to move in here. This is a $46,316 home. So obviously that is a bigger purchase. So for him, if I wanted to say like, no, I definitely want his story to be that he lives at this house in between, who lives here? Me trying to figure out who lives everywhere. In between the Harper household and this park, right? Let's say I wanted him to get to know the Harper family more. Then it would make sense for him to live here. I feel like he's also good at everything, I want to say. Wait, isn't he like super good at stuff? Okay. I don't know why I thought that he was like, I thought since he was the conductor of the train, I've heard some lore that he's like, he could have fixed the train. It's just like sneaky lore of like, how did he get people here? Anyway, that's a side tangent, a different gameplay for a different day. From here, if I wanted to increase his funds, I could do the cheat code again, where I do Control-Shift-C. It's going to be on Parafolk Profiler because that was where I left it off at. But I can click this arrow again and go back to the cheat commands. And then from here, I can put in, I think they're called paradigms. Okay, so see, paradigms didn't come up, but money works. So I can do set money. So I'm going to delete this, and then I can do set money, and then I'm going to do a space bar, and you can see here it's autofilling, which I appreciate. It's autofilling with what the syntax needs to be. So an amount of money. In this case, we said it was like 46,000. So let's give him a little bit more funds for that. So we'll do 50,000. And now he has $50,000. That's what his money was set to. So very simple to play as other characters, to find other characters in this environment, switch to their household, and then go from there. So please let me know if you have any additional questions. I'm happy to walk you through it. I can show you more of like what I have for The Sims as far as rotational gameplay goes versus Parafolks. I don't actually write anything down. I'm kind of just keeping it all in my mind right now. It might come to a point where having a spreadsheet would be very helpful. And when that's the case, I'll probably have a spreadsheet like I do for The Sims. But I would say let the story kind of take you where it's going to go. That's what I do, is I just let the story take me where it needs to go. And if I notice that folks are like out aging their friends, I'll change their age. If I need a new character to enter the storyline, then I will have a new character enter the storyline. So I'm going to go back over to Maddie's household, and we will start decorating their house. Okay, so we're back over to Maddie's household, and it's late at night. I might change, I don't know if you can actually change how it, oh yeah, you can. You can change what time of day it is so that you can see things in the light. I like to decorate houses so I can see what it looks like with the light on, and then I'll turn the lights off to just see like what it looks like with the actual lighting indoors in the house. So this is perfect. So this is Maddie's house. He lives right next to the Chimera household, and I think this house is absolutely adorable, and I think we can make it work for a family of this size easily. Now, something that's interesting is they don't have an upstairs, but they do have a basement. I think what I'm planning on doing is having a majority of the family members live kind of down here in the basement section, and having the grandfather living in this room up here, just because he is a little bit older. One floor living becomes very, very useful when you are a little bit older and need that space. So I'm really, really excited to get started. Again, some of this might be me speeding through the gameplay a little bit, just because I think that might be helpful. But then other things will be me slowing down just to like talk a little bit through what I'm doing and why I'm making that decision. So I'm really excited for you to be on this journey with me. Now, I don't know the backstory of this family, so I'm probably just going to do a little bit of reading to learn more about them, because I'm not actually sure. All right, so I've done a little bit of reading on my own, and basically it came to the conclusion that they're hardworking and a book-loving residents of Molino. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but the parents Arthur and Camelia run a local spot called the Story Nook, so they run the bookstore in town, which is so cute. And I think that that's so fitting because the Chimera household has so many books in their house, and I think that's really cute. Like, if they all were friends with each other, I would love that a lot. They live with their 3 children, Ophelia, Mathis, and Elena. and Camilia's father, Don Rojas, though they begin the game unhoused. So very cute. Okay, so I feel like we need to definitely fill this with a lot of books. And I kind of wonder what, I saw that Don doesn't have a job, and I kind of wonder what he did before this. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna change the time on this, make it more daytime. And then I'm just gonna start. I think I'm gonna start with this front room. I love that there's a closet, but they also have like a lot of kids, 2 teens and 1 younger daughter. And I love the idea of them having like kind of just a pretty busy entrance hallway. So we'll see what we can do with what we have, and then I'll go from there. Okay. So I made the front room kind of busy, but I noticed that they have a lot of, like, the family across the board loves hats, which I think is really cute. I didn't grow up in a family that wore a lot of hats. I love the idea of like having hats at the front door. And then I wanted it to feel like kids live here. So I have like a more like kid-centric book. But then I also wanted it to feel more like it had like a old-timey farmhouse vibe to it. So I feel like, I don't know, I'm thinking like, oh, like ducks or bunnies or little caricatures, like give that old kind of farmhouse vibe. I have this really like pretty mirror here. And then these are picture frames right now that I'm actually going to fill with all of their kids. So I might be doing that a little bit later, potentially while not recording kind of off screen, because I've already been recording for an hour, which is mind blowing that I've only finished the entrance. This might end up being a several part series here. At this point, this I feel like is done right now. And I tried to put this yoga mat to kind of make, well, it's not a yoga mat, it's a cushion, but I wanted it to look like a yoga mat. And then just another spot for them to put clothes and stuff, like they're headed out. I thought a grandfather clock gave this kind of like an old-timey feel. And I wanted to put like a runner carpet here, but I couldn't find one, and I might be looking in the wrong place. The next focus I was going to have was over here with the bookshelves. So these bookshelves, this family really loves books, so I think it's only fitting that they have a wall-to-wall bookshelf. So that's what I've done here. And I'm going to try to put some more decorations on the top. I figured they would probably have some more like picture frames and pictures of their family. So I'm going to do that. And then I think as far as couches go, like this does look like a cozy space. I feel like they might need more artwork on the wall and maybe like a bigger TV or like an old TV, but like in an old kind of entertainment stand space. So I might try to play around and like look at that a little bit. I just finished decorating a little bit more of the house. I wanted there to be a lot of picture frames, and I also kind of picture them being an outdoorsy family a little bit. Like maybe the grandfather previously did like hunting and fishing were like his main staple hobbies. So I kind of wanted to incorporate a lot of animals into this space, along with a lot of plants. Like I picture the grandpa maybe gardening too. And then we also have just like a kind of an entertainment center, like a built-in home entertainment center, which is something I kind of wanted to incorporate to make it feel more like an old farmhouse. And so I'm trying to do that. And I added some minimal decorations right now. I think that will decorate this out more and more as we go. And I put some plants here, just some statues, an old-fashioned radio, and just a little, like a couple of picture frames. I filled them in a little bit, but I do want to keep some space for like homemade pictures. And yeah, otherwise I left it the same. I left the couch the same. I noticed that they had doilies, so I put a doily on this table. If anybody ever grew up with like grandparents, you might remember doilies being on tables. So I put that on a table, and I also put this lamp here too for them. Okay, next I'm going to move on to the kitchen. I will say I'm a little less inspired by kitchens, to be honest. The good news is that we'll have a lot of clutter options, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll move on to Grandpa's bedroom, which I honestly think we're going to keep really minimal. Maybe a couple of pictures and maybe a few more animal statues, but otherwise we'll keep his space pretty minimal. Okay, so I updated the kitchen just a little bit. I feel like the family would be pretty neat when it comes to the kitchen, so everything would be probably in their cabinets minus a few miscellaneous items. I'm going to see if I can find more cereal to put on top of the fridge because I always did that back in the day. So we'll put more stuff on the fridge and then we'll move over to Grandpa's room. Perfect. Okay, the kitchen is officially done. I really love it. And now we'll move on to the Grandpa's room. So there is a crib in here. I'm going to take this and move this into their storage area. So we'll actually move that downstairs in case they ever want to have another baby. Okay, so part of me absolutely adores the idea of like maybe Don Rojas's like late wife really loved like bird watching, and that was something that they used to bond over. This is just a story I'm coming up with in my head, but they used to bond over that. And you'll notice that like these two birds are featured right here in their living room. I'm picturing that like maybe his wife and him completed this puzzle together, and then he glued it together and put it up on his wall in remembrance of his wife. Okay, I have finished the bedroom for Don Rojas. I wanted to put like a shelf in there in case he collects any things, any trinkets. I feel like I could picture him being the collector of the community, and so I think that would be great for him, especially as the kids in this household get older and go to school. He might find that that's a hobby that he's enjoying. And then I put an alarm clock in. I feel like he's going to be a little bit of a stickler for time, Don Rojas. And so I picture there being kind of clocks throughout the house. The family is a big family of readers, so I think like a little reading chair with another bookshelf is helpful. And then I just incorporated, kind of like what I said, I incorporated some more animals into this space. And I already gave a backstory for this picture right here. And I also just put in a plant and then a couple of candles here. And I think his room is all set. The next thing I'm going to move to is the bathroom. And I'm quite literally, bathrooms are not inspiring to me. If I'm being honest, what I'm going to do is I'm going to install just a shower in this bathroom, especially since he's elderly. I think 1 floor living makes a lot of sense. So we're going to make a space so that he can take a shower downstairs and not have to travel all the way to the basement in order to use the bathroom. I feel like, if I'm being honest, it makes more sense for them to get something like this, because this would allow for him to grab the hose to like wash. So I feel like this would make more sense to get. We're going to treat this like it's like a newer appliance in the house. Maybe they just installed this for the grandfather for the first time. So like maybe this is a newer plumbing component to their house. I don't know. I kind of love that a lot, that like they would have the same tile that they had in their kitchen floor on their walls. I feel like that was really common for like older houses. I love that. That's so cute. Okay. That looks so much better. That looks like it makes more sense. I want to put another wall right here, but I don't want to cut them off from being able to enter. the shower. So I think like this provides enough privacy and room. Great. Our downstairs right now is like looking almost completed and I'm so happy with it. I absolutely love it so much. So this is perfect. Let's move on to downstairs. So downstairs is going to be a little bit more effort. I feel like I need to get to know more of the characters too before I completely build out all of their bedrooms. But what we'll do is we'll focus on making sure that we have like mostly the essentials for the kiddos. So like, for example, I'm going to have the eldest daughter Ophelia share a bedroom with Elena, and then I'm going to have Mathis have his own bedroom down here. So I think that I'm going to refurbish this room so that it does become his bedroom instead of a storage area. And then they do have this cute little shed out here that I'm going to make their storage area for the time being until we can get more stuff put in. So I'll start working on that. I'll clear out this storage space here for them and we'll put it in the shed outside. Okay, so I'm first going to focus on the two girls' rooms. So we have a single bed in here right now that is in the color pink, which I think fits because Ophelia does, I think, like the color pink. She's wearing a lot of pink right now and like very summery, like yellow colors. Real quick though, I'm just gonna check on the family and just kind of see, yeah, Ophelia likes like very cutesy girly colors. Like I'm seeing like some pinks and blues. I love that. So what I'm picturing is that they're just like, I don't know, like springtime girls. Like that's what I'm picturing because like the strawberries, the yellows, the blues, like also like very much her sister Elena has very much like a not neutral tone color, earth tone colors. So I'm like, oh, I just feel like they're very much like outdoorsy and spring vibes. So I think that that's going to make that a little bit easier to build in that household. So, I mean, or in that bedroom. So like, let's go back to this room because I'm no longer feeling like pink makes any sense. Okay, so I think I'm almost done with the kids' room. I might like put a picture here or here just to add more clutter. But again, I think that they're both really aligned in like earth tone colors and then also for more like springtime. So I tried to incorporate that in both of their beds. This bed's going to be Elena's and this one's going to be Ophelia's. And I'm just trying to like add some little pieces that have both a combination of like teen-centric things as well as kid-centric since Elena's a kid and Ophelia is a teen. It's a small, tight space, but I think it's really cute. I don't have anything much in their closet, but I just have this, and I think that's nice. Next, I'm going to probably move on to the bathroom and just trying to figure out where to put this washer and dryer, which will be quite the test. It might be a situation where they go in this little corner and we just don't mention it, but we'll keep going from here. Well, yeah, I'm going to put that there like she's going to another planet or something. Like, I love that because she loves technology. That's why. So she's like going into space, maybe going to work in astronomy. I don't know. And this one, I kind of want her to have more like posters. Oh, a sun is cute. I like that. Okay. Oh, I love that. It has like a little white outline too. Duplicate that and we'll put because that's adorable. Oh my gosh, she is a teen. We could have her do like nightfall, like Twilight. Oh, that's cute. That's cute. I'm already picturing playing this family, like building out the environment is like helping me think of them. Okay, I updated the bathroom. I think we have it now functional where we have the 2 washer and dryers, 2 larger cabinets, just to kind of make it more of like a family bathroom. Okay, next I'm going to work on the parents' bedroom, and I'm probably going to be pretty simple with it, nothing too crazy. I do really love this color of that room. And then next we'll work on Matthias's bedroom. Now I feel like his room is going to be the biggest of the rooms, so I might like... Oh, shoot, I'm moving the wrong thing. I might move this. That's the wall thickness, I think. Can I not move the walls in here? I might not be able to because it's the basement. Yeah, I might not be able to because it's the basement. Oh, shoot. I didn't think about that. Okay, maybe I'll make this Matthias's room and I'll make this the parents' room. I think that makes more sense to me. So let's move this into here and then we'll focus on his room. Okay, I think that I'm going to end the gameplay here. So I just wrapped up decorating Maddie's room, and I tried to make it really like video game themed and like a few animals on his shelf, but I picture him like going with his grandpa to collect items around the town. So I think I'm going to have them do that. And so he has a little shelf just like his grandpa does for collecting items around the town. I tried to make his feel like he's just newly a teen and loves video gaming. He video games with Dana all the time. So I figure like that makes sense. He's got some Among Us themed items in here. And I also put some skateboards. I don't think that he skateboards. I kind of pictured like his family gifting him these like back of skateboards and then him gifting himself the one here on the left because it's his favorite band. Like that's what I picture for this space. I'm going to put a rug in here too. I just think with like hardwood, we want a rug, and then I'll play and on my own time and just like add stuff to the parents' room. It'll probably be pretty plain, I'm going to be honest. And then I'll go through and I'll take pictures of everything. So that'll be all at the end of the gameplay today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments and kind of what you would like to see next. And any other helpful tips and tricks that you've learned while you've been playing Paralives, and kind of what are you decorating? How does your houses look like? Are you trying to make them fit your characters? How has your gameplay been? And with that said, I'll leave it here. And as usual, keep it simple, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.